Howdy hey, hope you're having a great day. Do you like cartoons? Well, I know a cartoon for you, and it's called Hazbin Hotel.
That show sucks.
What?
Hazbin Hotel, it's so bad. The writing is garbage. There's way too much swearing, and the creator is like a horrible, terrible person who shouldn't even be allowed to continue on.
Okay, enough of that. Now, I'm just gonna get straight into it. Hazbin Hotel is not actually that bad. Now, for the uninitiated, Hazbin Hotel is an Amazon Prime TV show based in hell around the Princess of Hell, Charlie Morningstar, trying to redeem sinners and get them into heaven. It originated as an indie animated pilot on YouTube by Vivian Madrano, or VivziePop, in 2019 and was picked up by Amazon in 2021. It began premiering in 2023. It is a musical TV show with at least 2 songs per episode. And now that you know the bare bones basicness of what this show is, let's deep dive into the lore, not just of the show itself, but around the show and why people often say it is not that good. Now, disclaimer, I will not be going too in-depth about the show's lore and actual plot of the show because I don't want to spoil anything for anybody who may want to actually go ahead and watch it. I am simply discussing controversies that are surrounding the show and some gripes that I have heard consistently on the internet regarding the show and what often deters people from even starting watching it. This is not going to be spoilery. I'm actively trying to avoid that. Now, to just get the elephant out of the room, out of the way, I will not be discussing the Vivian Madrano controversies. And it's not out of fear that this will discredit any of my points, but simply out of the fact that if we decided to do this with every show, there simply would be nothing to watch. Everything has some kind of sleazy, controversial fact about it surrounding it, whether it be the streaming service or the person who created it directly. If I went into everything she's done too, we would be here for way too long. There are things that have been accused of her, things that have happened that people like to drag up from when she was in middle to high school, things from 15 years ago. This is a 30-year-old woman now. I'm not discussing any of it because it's either been apologized for or something so old that I do not see how it would have any current merit on her current work. Now, moving on. Hazbin Hotel is in fact good, and hopefully after watching this, you give the show a shot. To start with the writing. The biggest criticism of the show is the writing, and will be what I am mostly talking about in this video. Now, I won't lie and say Hazbin is some peak of writing in TV, because it's not, but what I will say is that it is well written. A big gripe is plot holes, and while you know what, I can't even try and agree with this. We currently only have 2 seasons right now. The plot holes at this point are just plot points that are yet to happen. Like, oh no, you found that scene confusing? You don't like it? Aw, poor baby, keep watching. They're explaining it in 2 episodes. Oh no, the character said they were gonna do something and didn't do it right away? This is season 1. Good news. The show is greenlit for 5 seasons. Give it a minute. We'll get there soon. The evil villain characters have more to them than just being evil and have actual personalities. Even the scum of the earth people, oh my goodness, it's almost as if they are well-rounded characters who exist for more than just being evil. It's almost like the show takes place in hell and is literally about redemption. So yes, even the terrible, horrible, no good, very bad man is going to have some redeemable qualities. By the way, this is not me saying I support said evil, terrible, no good, very bad man. We all know who he is. He sucks. Die. But I will say that I hate him with every fiber of my being. Which is good, which is what you're supposed to think. But you're also supposed to think that, hey, there's more to him than just being the terrible, evil person. Because he's a well-rounded character. And people who get upset about the fact that he is a well-rounded character are dumb. It's almost as if even terrible people have a personality. Alright, I will get off my soapbox and proceed to get onto my other soapbox about the writing. The pacing. The pacing of the show is an issue. I will admit it. Some plots seemed rushed at times, and due to the 8-episode limits they were given for each season by Amazon, they can't fit any filler into the show to help round out some character dynamics that in older times would have been more fleshed out. Dynamics like Cherry Bomb and Serpentious and Baxter with the rest of the hotel, because they were only given 8 episodes that were 25 to 30 minutes long except for season 2 finale that was 38 because they got special treatment for that one. Now, when it comes to the actual plot of each season, it has never felt rushed and forced. The way it develops and flows throughout the season is well done in the time frame that they are given every season. In those 25 to 30 minute episodes, for those 8 episodes, they managed to get the plot across in a non-rushed way, that not too rushed way at least. And I think that for a show that was only given 8 episodes per season is pretty impressive, because that is a lot. They cram a lot into those 8 episodes. So no, the plot of the show itself does not feel rushed or forced because of the time constraints they were given. The pacing of the show is in fact an issue, but it's more so of an issue when it comes to individual character dynamics and not when it comes to the overarching plot of that season that is being drawn out in front of you. Now, I've been bombarding you and yelling at you, so let's take a step back and talk about something that even people who hate Hazbin Hotel actually will, even if it's begrudgingly, admit to liking about this show. And that something is the songs. The songs are so good, they're all good, none of them are bad. If you think one's bad, I guess you're entitled to your opinion, but they are all good songs. Some are better than others, but every single song is at least good in its own way. And part of the reason for that is because all of these songs are written by half of the living tombstone, Sam Taff. You know, the guy who helped write notorious bangers like this, and this, and this. And the other part of the show songs being so good is that the cast for the show is stacked. We got Christian Borle, we got Keith David, we got Erica Henningsen, we got fucking Jeremy Jordan. And that's just to name a few. Every single person in this cast is an incredibly talented, most of which Broadway actors. And if they aren't, they're still incredibly talented and have been doing musicals and TV for years. And the voice acting in this show is impeccable. It stands to my point that even people who claim to hate this show beyond all belief will still watch it simply to listen to these songs that they release. Even those who will say, oh, this show is terrible, horrible, no good, very bad show, still listen to these songs because the songs themselves are in fact good songs. Just listen.
Give me a sign, what's your guidance, please show me the way. You speak of choices made by other voices. You're acting out like you want teachers' attention. Well, I'm the principal of this eternal attention. I hope you had your fun, but son, it's time to ring a bell. Ding ding.
Need someone to hand your chips, go all in and abandon ship. You're jumping for the water and it's all 100 proof.
So cower and hide, find a rope you can swing from. So say your goodbyes to your life, to your kingdom. The rest is easy, baby. Anyone who finds love and help can do anything, baby. You and me don't need no one else to make it through the crazy.
So yeah, the songs are amazing. There's no debate. It's fundamentally, from a musical's perspective, are very good songs. It is the one thing that anybody who has interacted with this show can agree on, is the songs, musically speaking, are very good. I would recommend watching the show, Hazbin, just for the songs alone. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Alright, it's time. The big reason why a lot of people like to say that the current official show of Hazbin Hotel is not good. The big secret, the big mystery. Why do people think this in the first place? How did this all get started? Well, I raise you the 2019 animated pilot for Hazbin Hotel. A lot of people compare the current show to the pilot, claiming that the pilot was substantially better than the official show. But the thing about this is, as a person who was there, watched that pilot come out live as it came out, it wasn't. Fundamentally speaking, it wasn't. It wasn't a bad pilot. It was very well done, but it was not better than the current show. I wouldn't even go as far to say it was as good as the current show. It was good, but not as good as. The reasoning behind like most people's perception of why the pilot was better is because there was a 5-year gap between the official show releasing and the pilot coming out. That was 5 years of the fandom just creating stuff, trying to piece together what they thought might happen within the story. And because of that, a lot of people had like these preconceived notions of like what the plot should be, what should be happening, how these character acts, when that was not what they ever were going to be. It was simply what people wanted them to be at the time during that dry spell of having no content. And if you really look at it, the pilot itself does set up exactly what is happening in the current show as we know it. People just don't want to admit that because they want their fantasy of the pilot being this perfect thing they watched when they were younger, when it just simply isn't. In fact, there's many gripes I have about the pilot itself. I have gripes about the main show too, but some gripes about the pilot I could just list. The sound effects were too loud in contrast to the rest of the audio of the show, in my opinion. The animation was smooth, but it wasn't consistent. It would go, like, the art style would change constantly throughout the pilot, which is not something you want for an official show. The voice actors, they had a different voice actor for everybody who sang and everybody who, and the speaking voice, the singing and speaking voices, they were different voice actors for everybody who sang. And that's just not something that you should have to be doing for a full show. While the pilot was fun, it was whimsical, it was cute, it was not something that could be the official show, because the official show is now backed by an official studio, Amazon. I'll put a picture of the one, I forgot how to say it. And so people have the preconceived notion that, oh, the pilot's so good, but it's simply nostalgia blindness that is leading individuals to believe that the pilot is better than the original show, when in actuality it could be considered a little worse, just content-wise. It's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I love it. I love going back and listening to songs and rewatching it. But it's the main show, in comparison to the pilot, is an upgrade. And people want to act like it is a downgrade when that is simply not what it is. It is simply the show got more of a budget and a big team and an official studio backing it. So now they have the resources to do things that you want to be able to do in a YouTube animated pilot. And that also leads into the point of the swearing in the show. People often say that Hazbin Hotel has too much swearing, to the point where Hazbin Hotel themselves have multiple videos making fun of themselves for this. But the thing is, people ask, like, the pilot didn't have that much swearing. Alistair didn't curse in the pilot. Pilot Alistair would never do this. Pilot person would never do this. But that's not true, because the pilot had a ton of cursing in it as well. And also, cursing does not make your show less good. Yes, it is a cop-out at times, but it's a comedy in a sense. The show is partially a comedy in a way. So yes, they're gonna have swearing for comedic effect. Yes, they're gonna sometimes say a swear word or a combo of swear words that just doesn't make sense. Like when Vaggie goes up to Alistair and calls him a shit fuck? I'm gonna look that up and put the clip in here. Hold on.
Because it won't be so entertaining to watch over an empty hotel, will it, shit ass? Fair enough.
Yeah, there it is. That dumb line. I watched that and was like, who calls somebody that? I love that line so much. It's so dumb. But yeah, that's my point. There's so much. There is a lot of swearing in the show. The swearing does not, in fact, discredit the show itself. It's in hell. They're gonna swear a lot because they are literally in the pits of hell. That's why they're swearing so much. They're actually demons. And I saved the most controversial for last, the part that I'm not going to talk about too much, because as a person who has never experienced sexual assault myself, luckily, thank God, it is not my place to talk about it in a professional sounding way. But I can say that I have had several people around me who have experienced sexual assault in some manner. The angel dust plot is handled in not the best way, and I can admit that, and I will admit that it is not handled in the bestest way it could be. I don't think it's handled the worst it could be either. I think it is handled, it is handled. And that is like what I can say about it. I felt like if I didn't mention it, at least, it would be disingenuous to what I'm talking about. But the song Poison, the music video, there are legitimate gripes to have about it because of how it is, and the person who storyboarded it, who was in fact, I believe, fired off of the Hazbin Hotel team because of what came out about them afterwards. Again, it's not something that I feel qualified enough to go into, but I do feel like I need to mention it because it, again, would be disingenuous if I didn't. While the show handles a lot of different aspects of different kinds of abuse pretty well, I think this is the one where they fall short on the most. I feel as if they could have handled it a lot better than it did, and it is still a developing storyline, and I'm hoping within season 3 and season 4 and hopefully season 5 they develop it in a way that is more nuanced than what they have done so far. I really do hope that it develops better, and that what we saw was maybe just like the tip of the iceberg from a certain perspective, and that there's going to be a deeper dive and it's going to get better, hopefully. All right, that's my piece. I hope you gave the show a chance. I really, really like it, and I hope you want to like it too, because I convinced my roommate to watch it, and they thought they weren't gonna like it, and now they're listening to the playlist on repeat, so I just hope this video gets maybe at least one person to go ahead and try and watch it. It's genuinely, I believe, it's not perfect, it's not peak cinema, but it is good. It is a good show to put on, and I think the people who like it really like it, and I'm one of those people. And yeah, the show's giving me that OC brain rot again, which is so fun to have. I might post an animatic later, who knows. I'm deranged currently. I got that brain rot. But yeah, that's Hazbin Hotel, and that's the controversy surrounding it. It's not perfect. I never claimed it to be perfect, and I'm open to comments about it. If you watch it and you have different perspectives, comment. Gimme. I would love to hear them. But that's all for today. I can't think of anything else to say, so okay, bye!